Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, as it says in the thumbnail, you want to come and live in Thailand, but naturally you have many concerns and worries. Now in this video we'll try to address about 10 of the main worries which you have, according to many of the emails which you send me. Now those will include visas, healthcare, bank accounts, costs, climate, safety, and maybe language. We'll see if we include that at the end. So while we have a walk around two markets, now we did in the previous video, we did the market at the bottom of Macau, the big one. Now this is the runway Boeing 747 jumbo jet market, and also the market at the top end of Soy Macau. We'll do a little later on. So let's start the chat. Now the first subject is long-term visas. Now this depends if you're over 50 years old. So you are eligible for a retirement visa. Now if you're younger, there are other options, but we'll start with the retirement visa. Now there's two types. There's the O visa and there's the OA visa. Now the O visa is only issued within Thailand and does not require compulsory health insurance. This, in my opinion, is the preferred one. The other is the OA visa, which is issued by Thai embassies around the world and requires the holder to purchase very expensive health insurance from only Thai companies, not companies from other countries, only Thailand. So in order to get the first type of the O visa, the best way is to go to your local Thai embassy in your own country and get a 60-day tourist visa and use that to enter Thailand. Then as soon as you arrive, you go to a recommended visa agent. Now the one I use is Key Visa, which you probably know, and I shall put a link to their website below, in the box below. Now it may be that you're actually retiring to a different city, not Pattaya. You may be going to, Bangkok, Hua Hin, Chiang Mai, whatever. But I highly recommend you use a visa agent and don't try and do it yourself. Now they do the whole visa process. It costs money, of course, but believe me, it's worth it. Alright, it costs about $850 or 30,000 Thai baht to do this, but it's worth it. It saves you so much hassle. I mean, you are required to deposit 800,000 Thai baht into a Thai bank account, or prove you have 65,000 Thai baht a month as an income. Now that's something that a lot of people don't want to do. So again, an agent can help you with all that. You really do want to use an agent, in my opinion. Now then, if you're under 50, then there are other types of visas available, such as education, which most people use to learn the Thai language. I mean, the schools themselves do the visa process. You do need to make sure that the school is fully government accredited, of course. Now, whatever type of visa you go for, you may want to pay a little more to get a multiple entry visa. If you intend to go outside Thailand, really, many people don't, but if you do, maybe visit Vietnam or the Philippines, for example, or possibly go back home to your own country for a visit. Now, if you don't have a multiple entry visa, it is possible to go to immigration and get a re-entry permit, so that your visa isn't automatically cancelled when you go abroad. So another subject you may be worried about is the opening of a Thai bank account. Now, in my opinion, This needs to be either Bangkok Bank or Kasikorn Bank, because with these banks there's less of a problem when transferring larger amounts of money from abroad. Once again, I highly recommend using a Visa agent to open a Thai bank account. Trust me when I say it's much less hassle, it really is. Once again, you have to pay for the service. And you will also have to supply your passport and a 12-month rental lease and things like that to the agent and then to the bank. But you will get a debit card which you can use to get money out of your bank's ATM machine. And as I've said before, Thailand is still a cash society, like it used to be in the West years ago. But more and more people who have a banking app on the phone, and they tend to use that to scan payments, like in supermarkets or 7-Elevens or places like that. Now usually when the Visa agent processes your Visa application, you need to show 800,000 Thai baht in your bank account, as I said before. Now that's about 22,000 US dollars. That's what you're supposed to have in your Thai bank account. And the agent will open this new bank account for you at the same time as part of the service for doing the Visa. Now, some of you guys will be saying, you don't need to pay for to use an agent for either bank account or a Visa, which is true, you don't. However, you need to have plenty of time and patience to jump through all the hoops that they'll throw at you. Now, if you want to do it yourself, just to let you know, I always use an agent. I never had the patience to do it myself. It's just not worth it, the hassle, in my opinion. And there is another factor as well about the 800,000 Thai baht, which you need to speak to the agent about. Because some people don't want to bring that much money into Thailand. You need to talk to the agent about that, okay? Okay, next subject, health insurance. When you live here, holiday vacation insurance does not apply. So you need to go to a recommended insurance agent. I'll put a link below to one that I've used before, and buy health insurance. I mean, this is not a legal requirement in Thailand. Well, not yet. It's just advisable. So if you're 50 years old and you're in good health, that won't cost an absolute fortune. It will cost you around about 50,000 baht a year, which is about 1,400 US dollars. However, as you get older, this definitely rises quite dramatically and can become prohibitive as you approach, say, 70, to the point where past 70 you'll be struggling to find any insurance company who will accept you at all. There you are, you can buy it second hand, good condition. So what do you do then? Okay, when you've been refused by insurance. Now, if you remember, you need to have 800,000 Thai baht sitting in a Thai bank doing nothing for the retirement visa, if you do it the normal way, but many people do. And I know a couple of older guys who top this up to 1 million baht and have that sitting there in case of emergencies. In other words, they self-insure instead of paying the exorbitant insurance company fees as you get older. I mean, you probably think that's a lot of money, but if you've sold a house before you came to Thailand, then you have the money. If you didn't sell a house, if you don't have a lot of money, and you want to do it sort of economically, if you like, put it that way. Yeah, there are ways you can do it, and that's one of the main reasons for using an agent, which I keep mentioning. I think you begin to get the picture. Yeah? Because many rules in Thailand can be got around by a little facilitation, you know? We're actually at the end of a runway market. We've gone all the way around and back onto Second Road here. So what we'll do now, we'll jump from here down to Soi Buakhao, to the top end of Soi Buakhao. I did the other one before, down at the bottom, and now we're going to jump to the top end. So this is the top end of Soi Buakhao. So we'll continue with the next subject, which is health or healthcare in Thailand. Now, in my opinion, the quality and the type of healthcare in Thailand is superb. From little shop-sized clinics, like there's one on Buakhao, which is very good, to deal with like minor problems like coughs or cuts or anything, and it's very cheap, 1,000 baht or something, you know, whatever. It's not expensive at all. As far as going to, on the opposite end of the scale, places like Bangkok Hospital Group. I mean, they have them in all the major cities, and they have one on Sukhumvit Road in Pattaya, which is absolutely superb. Such high quality. I mean, there are other ones. There are other 2 or 3 other hospitals, but I just mentioned that one because it's so good. I mean, they do everything there, including major heart surgery, everything, you know, but they're not cheap. That's why you're better off with insurance if you can get it. If not, that's what your million baht's for. Okay. And dental care. I mean, dental care is excellent and very cheap compared to the West. Things like implants are probably half or less than half that you would pay in the West, without insurance, of course. I don't think you can even get implant on insurance, can you? Anyway, whatever. There's no waiting. It may be a couple of days at the most for most things. For example, I needed 3 fillings. And the other month I went to my dentist. I'll put a link down below to their video. And I walked into my dentist, made a booking for the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning. I came the next day, had 3 fillings with white filler, so they look good, and went to pay at the desk, and the price was 1,400 Thai baht. That's about $40 US. Now, don't forget, this is private dental care, you know? So, it's normally extremely expensive in many countries. I don't know how much 3 fillings would be in the West, but I bet it would be more than $40. Tell me in the comments. It'll be interesting to see what you think they would cost, you know? Now then, let's see, what shall we talk about next? Moving. Actually, physically moving. Is the next subject once you've decided to go and you've sorted everything out. So you're moving to Thailand and you're going to leave your own country that you've lived in for many, many, many years, and you've accumulated a whole mass of junk, of stuff. Now, what are you going to do with that? I can tell you what I did. Now, you're either going to sell your house to finance everything and then rent a place, or if you're renting a place, you've got all the stuff in the place, in the garage and all the rest of it. What you gonna do with all this stuff? Now, let me tell you what I did, okay? You don't put anything, all your stuff, in a rental storage. You know the storage units you can get? Because you'll just be paying rent forever, and you'll forget what was in there. You really will. So you don't do that. Now, 15 years ago, I left the UK forever, and I went to a job in Dubai on a 2-year contract. And I knew that I would move from Dubai straight to Thailand when the contract was finished. So I knew 15 years ago I wasn't going to go back to the UK. So what did I do with all my stuff? Well, I found a shredding company, and I took every piece of paperwork that I didn't need for Dubai or Thailand, and I had it all shredded. I sold everything that had any value at all. Any newer or nicer, like warm clothes, for example, I gave to a relative, as I knew I wouldn't need them in either Dubai or Thailand. So the rest of the clothes, except for a few I was taking with me, I gave to a charity shop. And all the rest of the stuff that was left, I took to the tip and just dumped it. And I left England permanently 15 years ago with my entire life in one suitcase on one rucksack. Now, in my opinion, that's what you have to do. You have to commit, you know. I mean, everything in Thailand is really cheap, so you can buy new shoes, new clothes, all the rest of it, you know. And I just think it's just crazy to bring stuff and have all the transport costs and all the rest of it. If there's something you really, really, really like, then give it to a relative, you know. Don't bring it here. Let me interrupt the chat for 1 second, guys, because I'm still getting emails and comments from you guys saying that YT have unsubscribed you. So you need to check, because they basically don't like Patio channels. It's as simple as that. And they keep unsubscribing. Not only my channel, there's other ones as well. So keep checking. Every week, check to see that you're not unsubscribed. Okay, guys? Right, let's get on with the chat, shall we? Now, one of the next things you need to do really is fairly quickly is choose a place to live. Find somewhere. I mean, you should have done your research beforehand, obviously before you came, because you need a 12 months property lease for your bank account and for your visa. So you can come here and book a hotel for a week or two while you go to an agent and find a rental property, or you can do it yourself. One thing that you may not be aware of, depends how well you know Thailand, is that most rental properties in Thailand come ready furnished, unlike in the West. Most properties are empty. That's another reason why you don't need to bring all your stuff from your country. Okay? Now, I mean, another thing you need to consider before moving here is the climate. Now, Thailand is a tropical climate. The temperature every day is between 28 centigrade and 35 centigrade, which is 82 Fahrenheit to 95 Fahrenheit, often well up to 100, you know. And that's for about 8 months of the year. It's humid. Now, for all of the 8 months, you constantly sweat. According to a friend of mine, an American guy, he said it reminded him of when he went one summer to Louisiana. He just sweat constantly. Now, the best weather is November, December, January, February, but then it starts to get hot. From March, April and May, it gets very hot. And then after that it gets humid. And in June, July and August, it's the beginning of the rainy season, but not really. It just gets humid with the odd bit of rain here and there. But then come September and October, you get the real rain, and you get like bucket loads of it. It really, really, really does come down. And it causes flooding in many places, you know, but you just have to get used to it. I mean, in the rainy season, the rain doesn't normally last more than 1 or 2 hours. I mean, the flooding also drains away fairly quickly as a rule. So, I've never really had a problem with the rain, to be honest. Being from England, I guess. You know, we get a lot of rain there. Let's see, what else? Well, another subject is safety. Now then, I've been coming to Thailand for 25 years. This year will be 25 years, the first time I ever came. And never once in that entire time have I felt unsafe at any time. And for what I'm hearing about crime in the West these days, it sounds like Thailand is the safer option. Let me just lastly mention one thing about language. In the major cities, where, like, Bangkok and Phuket, Chiang Mai, all those places, Hua Hin, they speak English. So you don't worry about learning Thai, but better if you do, but you don't absolutely have to. It is not essential to move here, okay? Maybe it's something you could do when you were here, but you don't need to do it beforehand, okay? Well, I hope you found this video informative, which is what I'm trying to do. And also, don't forget to have a look down below at Patreon. Just click more and go down to the Patreon link. Lots of very interesting stuff there, which a lot of guys are really enjoying watching that now. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell. And I'll see you on the next video.